ladies, so you get to see our super messy pantry. It usually is not like this, but if you see the little man at the bottom, he's the main reason for everything on the ground. So there are definitely some areas that got super messy, and that's because I was waiting to get some special things installed on our doors so that he wouldn't have access to our pantry. We basically got to the point where we would take groceries, leave them in the bag, and put them in the pantry on the ground, so that's how it got super messy. So I started off by taking a bunch of things out of the pantry because it felt so cluttered and so packed that I didn't feel like I can just start organizing right off bat. I felt like I needed a little bit more space. I needed to clear my mind because I could barely get my mind to focus. It felt super overstimulating getting everything out and just trying to figure out where everything is going to fit and how I'm going to fit everything back in. So I did wipe down some of the shelves, and then I just kept trying to make things work by moving things around. So there was a few things that I kept the same way, but there was definitely tons of things that I moved around. We have tons of cereal boxes. I think I stocked on them when COVID hit, and believe it or not, we have cereal like once every few weeks, and I think we have over 10 cereal boxes in there. So that'll take a while to finish up. I had no way of storing them. They're still in their original boxes, but for now I'm just going to keep it like that since we don't eat it often enough. I went ahead and worked on getting rid of the things that are on the ground that I don't use often enough, and then I wanted to store them up high since I will not have access to them. I also did not like the way it looked when I walked into the pantry with a bunch of chips and crackers and just a bunch of bags right in my face. So I moved those to the left side to kind of just give it a more crisp look when I walk in. I wasn't sure what to do with the chips, but I thought if I at least move them to the left and all those bags, at least they'll be out of the way. I also wanted to create a space for party things, such as plates that we use or like spray glitter and little things that we use for like different events. So I just kind of put them straight ahead because they're pretty, and at least I walk in and I smile when I see them. I knew that wasn't a permanent solution, so I'm constantly moving things around. Now in the white bins, I typically have just broken down into different categories. The little white boxes straight ahead are for oils, vinegars, condiments, dressings, and just other jarred goods. Then on the right of that, you'll see two bigger bins. One is for pastas and one is for rices. Then I have a little one for potatoes and a smaller container right next to it for onions. I didn't know where to put the pressure cooker, but I still like it right on the right hand side so the kids can actually take it out of the pantry and bring it out as needed. I organized the chips, crackers, and all those things into 4 categories: healthy snacks, not healthy ones, which usually are all my husband's, and then into like toppings that we use, like tortillas chips is one of them, and then crackers and stuff into another one. I'm really not big into baking, so I had no idea where to put those things. I did want to focus on the things on the ground because there were so many, and a lot of the things were just getting in the way, and I wasn't using them daily or even weekly for that matter. So I wanted to make sure that I clear up the space on the floor and put things that are really practical, like things that the kids can reach. So water bottles I took out of their containers and put them in there. I also put their like snacks in there, ones that are healthy, like little tiny fruit pouches or the baby foods that we still use when we're on the go. So I separated them all, that way all the kids can reach them, and I temporarily use that bin to store them in. You'll notice a lot of times that I use a container for one section and then I realize it might be too big or too small, so I end up taking it and moving it to a different location. This was me just trying to kind of fit it in like a puzzle, figuring out which container is best for which location. I ended up putting the toaster oven right on the corner. I felt like the use of my corners in this pantry were just not really practical, so I wanted to make sure it's just out of the way and it's not eye-soring when I walk in. Now this top part I really struggle with because everything that I did, I felt like I could not get it to look aesthetically nice, so when I'd walk in, that top shelf would still look cluttered. So I did the best that I can to take some of the things, like a bunch of napkins that we have. No, I did not buy them from the grocery store. We actually received them from somebody. Long story short, we got them for free. So that's why you see all the dark brown like containers. Then I also have all the light bulbs, and they were just in a random box, and I wanted again to look nicer, so I moved them into a box. Now I wasn't sure what to do with the chips, and I realized that often I ask the kids to go get whatever we need in terms of like crackers and stuff from the pantry, so I wanted to make sure that they have access to them, so I bumped them one down. And since I don't bake often, I thought I would move all the baking goods one shelf higher since I don't actually need the kids to have access to it. And the wooden textured box is actually a diaper box. This is the final result of the right side of the pantry. There's still a few tweaks that I want to do, like get rid of some of the cereal boxes, but it's perfect for now. I completely forgot that I had the white round bins from the dollar store already in white, and so I replaced them all and also replaced the clear boxes with these bins. Here's the final product. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful day.